I'm looking at Bucky's. He's our little Palomino. And I'm noticing all the scars, all of the years of being picked on by other horses who would bully him because he's different, because he's blind in one eye and he's not able to quite, defend himself the way you would like a horse to be able to do. And in saying so, I am bringing you a video today about horses. But before you begin to pick and bully on me the way and leave those kind of scars here and here on me, I want you to understand that I don't know what I'm doing when it comes to horses. So I will never make a horse video telling you how to do stuff. I will only make horse videos asking you for advice and information on how is the best way to do things. I'm back with another question and answer video. This time we're still dealing with our horse stalls, but we're relating this to pretty much the water and the hay needs. All right, so listen guys, I'm no idiot. I know that horses drink a lot of water. I mean, I've actually read that they can drink between 10, 15 gallons a day depending on the weather conditions. And so what we went and did was bought these very large, I think these are 10 or 15 gallon containers. They're heavy plastic, but they're not heavy enough for our horses and donkeys because look what they're doing. They've been biting into them and they've pretty much cracked and torn apart our buckets. They also will kind of like paw at them, and they have actually flipped them over when they start getting low. And so this is not working out very well for our stalls. So today what I'm going to try, and I will repeat, today what I want to try is something that we were gifted. We have 4 of these 1 gallon flat-sided buckets. And I have these, what do you call those things? Yeah, those things. And what I'm going to do is start or attempt to hang these on the side of the stall. I don't know, about so low, and give the horses access to a gallon of water at a time and kind of gauge if they actually need more than that during their short stay here inside the stalls. They don't spend a whole lot of time inside the stall. I've played around with different techniques as far as how much time they need in here. Different people have offer different suggestions of how much you leave them in the stall. Some say don't leave them overnight. Some say, of course you can. So I'm not sure about anything anymore, to be honest. But I'm going to put these 1 gallon containers in here, and I'm just going to find out that through the course of tonight if they end up drinking more than that. If I come out in the morning and they're all empty, like bone dry, then I'll realize they're way too small. And we'll have to see if we can find something a little bit larger. Or if I come out and they've just kind of been sipped in, then I know that will be okay. Yeah, so if you don't know, the lack of water can cause colic in horses. He's like, no, we don't want that. No, we don't want that. And so I want to make sure that the horses are getting plenty of water because we don't want colic. And I don't mean to bring this project to a halt, but already the things I bought to try to fit these on there are going to be too small. And so I'm guessing that this will actually not happen. Now, the bars are just too thick. I could take some, maybe I will try this. I could take some zip ties and zip tie these on. And that way, that would also, if the horses end up somehow doing something foolish, they can always break the zip ties easily and end up hurting themselves. That might actually be a better idea until I figure out if this is going to be a system I can use or not. Just ignore Beverly. She's been screaming at me all day. She's been coming in the stalls at night with her mother. And now she thinks whenever she sees me out here, she lets her mom know it's time to go eat. And that's not the case. This is the stall that Beverly's been staying in along with Ivy and Imogene. And yeah, it's not time to come in, Beverly. So have y'all ever done something or been working on some kind of a project and you know right away it's probably a bad idea? So I'm trying to one hand this here. This is not going to work with one hand, but I feel like this over here might not work. And I already feel like I might be wasting my time to even trying this. I like these little buckets though, and I want to use them for something, but not for feed. We already have a feed bucket. And so I thought because they have that little flat side and they're meant to go against the wall, it might be great for my watering solution, for my watering issues. I just don't know. What I can't keep having though is them chewing up and maybe even eating the plastic buckets here. And they do sell one at Tractor Supply. It's a really thick, like a rubber. I think it's probably made out of the same material over here. It's a really thick bucket, but it's also very wide and it takes up a huge section of the corner of the stall. And I'm afraid the horses would step in it and they'd poop in it and everything else. And we don't need that. So I'm going to try this for a night and just kind of see how it goes. You know what sucks? I really had the best intentions on these things. I forgot what you called these. Oh my God. That's normally what happens when I'm making a video. My mind goes blank. I end up saying, and way too much. But I was going to use these so I could do a real quick release and just take these off every morning and empty them out and clean them up and keep the water nice and fresh. Because now I have to end up cutting those. And so that's not cool. But no, so I like the way it hangs here in the corner. And I just don't know if the horses are going to need more than a gallon through the course of the night if they end up staying in here the entire night. So we were also gifted some really neat hay nets. I could hang in the stall. That would help keep, they would, help save all that wasted hay and help keep the stall quite a bit cleaner. And I'm excited about that. We used hay nets around here for the donkeys for a while. And if you think about it, let me sit down and talk for a moment. We also used hay nets back when we were giving the alpaca the alfalfa, because as you know, the male goats can't eat alfalfa. It somehow does something to mess up their little systems. So we used to have the hay nets where we'd hang the alfalfa high enough where the male goats, well, the goats in general couldn't get to it, but the alpaca could. And so I like hay nets, but I've also learned they can be very dangerous. What you don't want to have happen is this hay net end up getting stretched out so far from where you hang it that it can get the horse's hoof stuck into it, and then they end up having issues like that all night, getting tangled up and could hurt themselves. So these zip ties will come in real handy for this. What I'm going to do to make this simpler, I'm going to put the entire hay net over the bag of, this is Timothy grass we're feeding today. So check this out. This is the easiest way, I think, to load this grass. So what I've done is I put the Timothy grass, the entire contents, inside the hay net. And now what I'm going to do is take, since this is the bottom of the Timothy grass, just look at this. I'm just going to simply pull the bag right off. Can y'all see that? Darn it, no. And looky, check it out. I love it when things work out right for me, because that seldom happens. All right, so it would be easy to take this into the hay net and just wrap it around that top bar, pull it tight, and leave it. But the problem is, as the horses begin to eat out this Timothy grass or the alfalfa, whatever you're feeding, this bag can stretch, and it can sometimes stretch all the way down to the ground. So what I'm going to do is make sure that I hang it using these zip ties again, and then run my string through the zip ties. That way, if they do start somehow get tangled up and start pulling it around, this will break free. And the horses are not going to so much injure themselves walking around and around with that on their feet as much as they would trying to pull it, because those bars are not going to give. All right, let's let them into the stalls. It's about 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Come on, babies. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. So everyone has their own stall to go into, and it's been a couple of weeks now, so they pretty much have learned which stall is which. Let's go. So he should be coming across the hill. Make that crisscross, make that crisscross. Donkey goes, that's not your stall. Donkey goes there. Up, he's in the wrong stall. Oh my goodness. I'm making a video. Okay, thank you, Voodoo. Voodoo is the only one. Go to your stall. Go. Thank you, Bucky's. All right, so these two guys did perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Sweet girl. Okay. And there we go. That's the way it's supposed to look. All right. While I'm here, I want to look at the before and after of the flooring to show you how nasty these guys are making their stalls. Now, I know there's no bedding down. There's nothing on the floor as far as pine straw and whatnot. Pine bark. We will get that. But I do want you to see kind of a before and after of what a mess they make in the hours that they're in here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and close them in for now then so I can go out and feed the cows and the other animals. Sorry, Dan, you don't have a stall, little buddy. All right, once again, so here's a picture of the before. And so that little water spot was already there from when I rinsed off the floor earlier. I probably should have mentioned this earlier. Now, I'm not promoting either one of these products, but I do want to show you what we've been feeding our horses. We've kind of gone back and forth between this. These are the ingredients and the numbers that go along with everything. And then the Dr. Poles, which I will say this is their favorite, but I am not promoting any Dr. Poles products, so don't even go there and start trying to say, Lester, is he paying you for this? Because he's not. We do feed 1 scoop morning, 1 scoop afternoon, and I do think they want more than this, so that's why I also keep the Timothy grass or the alfalfa in their stalls at night, and they have hay to nibble on by day. And we do have the horse hay, the coastal hay for the horses, not the Bahia grass that you see here. That's for the cows, that hay. All right, so let's go through some elapsed time. It's been 1 hour since we fed the horses. All right, so as of now, they have finished their food. I've taken their food bowls out as soon as they're done. I don't want them to step on them and break them. I've taken the food bowls out. You can see that this is Bucky's, has already drank that much of his water, and he's going to town on the Timothy grass here. All right, has a lot dropping on the floor there, but that's minor. Over in the next stall with Voodoo, we can see that he has also finished his food pretty quickly, actually, and he's also going at it on the Timothy grass. Let's look at how much. Back up. He's drank quite a bit more water. I mean, he's drank about half of that already. Now, could that be just because he was eating? So a couple of questions that pop up right away is, why are they going at the Timothy grass right now? Do I not feed them enough? And if that's the case, the farrier actually said recently that he was actually overweight. She saw some stuff in his joints and around his feet and other things that told her he was overweight. And so I'm no pro, but I think he looks healthy. But she says, no, he has a little bit too much weight. And so why would they all be going to town on that Timothy grass that fast? Unless they're still hungry. But if they are still hungry, I don't know if I should be feeding them more. Same thing over here. Dixie has already finished her food. She's been going at the Timothy grass for a little bit, and she hasn't even touched her water. Her water's all the way full. And then I'm not going to go in there with you, but I could go in there. She's also finished her food. And she's also, I don't think she has even touched, excuse me, baby. She's not even touched her water yet. I mean, no, she hasn't even touched it because it's completely clean. Like, hasn't been touched. And she's also not gone. Now, this is Ivy. Obviously, she's not a horse. But a lot of you guys are not even going to want to give her the time of day because she's not a horse. But she thinks she's a pony. She thinks she is, guys. And that's what matters right now. No, in all honesty, for you guys who don't know, we're helping her out a little bit. She had a baby recently, and it got her down. And so we're trying to bring her in and do all that we can to help fatten her back up. We've taken the baby, and it's being bottle fed. So kind of give her a chance to get herself back to full health. Okay, so that's what's going on with the water and the food situation. We are an hour in. Like I said, they've all finished their food. And now they are going at that Timothy grass. Now, here's a question, and this is something I hadn't even thought about, but I'll throw it in there. Is it possible to overeat on Timothy grass? Will they sit there and gorge themselves? Or am I putting too much in the bag? I entered the entire content thinking that they would have it there for like a supplement when they wanted it. But if all three of them are just going at it, then maybe they're using it as an actual food source. And so I might need to put less of that and more feed, even though I hear that they're a little overweight. Folks, I don't know. So many questions, but I'll be happy to... What, love?
Right back home.
Sure. All right, folks. Hey, remember, folks, that your words can leave scars. No, they can. Your words can hurt. Some of you guys can be very hurtful. So keep the comments friendly. Keep it simple. Keep it to where a guy with limited experience can understand what you're saying. All right? And I look forward to reading all of these amazing ideas that you're going to throw at me. And no, because honestly, it really is for the betterment of the horses. And they deserve that. So thank you guys for helping.